everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Aphrodite, aka Madam Suave. If you are new here, I would like to welcome you to the community. Be sure to check the description box below and like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to. Remember that energy is timeless and fluid. This could be past, present, or future energy. Flip roles if they need to be reversed, and only take what resonates, leaving the rest for what it's meant for. So the title of today's message is You Are Clearing Dead Weight of the Past so that your heart remains steady on your vision of the future, alright? And so we are still talking about connection and love energy today, but you'll see kind of like the energy that we have been talking about is kind of leading us into here, kind of giving you guys some understanding of what exactly is happening, what exactly is taking place. And though things may seem a bit tumultuous, is because of something that is coming in, okay, making way for that, for what is coming in, okay? Because I don't know if you guys feel it, but Taurus season is fast approaching, okay? I'm already starting to feel it. Things not necessarily slowing down, but it's just like I don't know, like if you can feel it, you can feel it, okay? I'm not going to try to, it's just you can feel Taurus season is approaching, okay? And it is here. But obviously, okay, Taurus is attached to Venus, which is the planet of love, as well as beauty, etc. But, okay, we are talking about this love energy. So we're going to kind of lean into that. But what is happening right now, okay, is a lot of root work is taking place as well as releasing. So when I am saying root work, I'm talking about, you know, things that you may have dealt with in the past. Now, for some of you, you have been in a connection or relationship that could have been for a very long time, and that connection is going through a rebirth, okay? So either you are kind of going through an individual rebirth by yourself, or you are doing, this is like a connection that has gone through many cycles, okay? And so you guys have broken out of cycles. This could be like behaviorally as well, different things that you guys have faced together emotionally. And if you are kind of going through a rebirth, you know, it's kind of like unlearning things that, you know, maybe have, some of you, this could be, you know, some sort of like trust thing, okay? So you are kind of breaking out of like certain behavioral patterns, certain things that, you know, or like certain pain that you may have experienced in this connection. You are kind of releasing that. For others of you, you are kind of releasing, you know, things of the past that is kind of prohibiting you from moving forward in a connection. Or just like I said, you are kind of pretty much doing groundwork, okay? Preparing for this manifestation coming in, this new relationship that is coming in, okay? So, let's see. Is that all I wanted to say? Because even when we think about, you know, the root chakra, we are talking about home, okay? Home and foundation. So it's kind of like you want to have both a stable and a healthy foundation, right? So obviously, you know, if you are kind of sticking through with someone and you are kind of creating and building something new from, you know, something that may not have been, you know, so great in the past, you kind of want to clear all of that out so that you can start fresh and start anew, okay? And so this is something that you are kind of adjusting to, all right? But, okay, so yes, this manifestation is coming in, this relationship is coming in, and you guys are feeling it, you know, and it may be, you know, to you, it may be like, you know, this feels like uncomfortable. This doesn't actually feel like, you know, I'm getting what I want, but you are, okay? And it is coming. So what I was hearing is spell of the past, okay? Because root work is kind of focused around like spells, hexes, natural remedies, okay? And so I'm not talking about in the literal sense, but what I was hearing was spells of the past, okay? So when you are in something for so long, or when you experience something for so long, or when you become accustomed or used to something for so long, especially like I said, for some of you, these could have been, you know, toxic relationships, etc. When you have been in that for so long, sometimes it is difficult to kind of release the mindset, to release certain behavioral patterns or the way that you respond to things, okay? It can be very difficult to kind of release that or understand that you're no longer in that, okay? So you cannot necessarily handle things the same way. And so as you release these things, you are readjusting and you are reconstructing, okay? Because like I said, when we talk about like the roots, that means you're getting all in there, you're going underground, like digging, all right? So, and it's like when you are digging into those uncomfortable places, when you are digging into your trauma, it can be very uncomfortable for that to kind of resurface, okay? But this is all to, remember how I said, you know, pain is weakness leaving the body, okay? So it's gonna hurt, but it's also going to feel really good, okay? So these things are kind of just popping up and you are kind of almost, it's like one thing that I say, right, with messages like this, etc. When you are reading energy, it's being able to separate the energy, and that's kind of what is happening. You are being able to isolate the energy from the time period that it was experienced in, okay? So you are letting go of things that do not serve your present moment, okay? Your present moment, your present experiences, things that you do not want to trickle and kind of influence your present moments, and especially this new connection, okay? So eliminating past energies from present connection, okay? This is also confusion, okay? So you are eliminating confusion and you are more clear on what is the energy between you two, rather than, you know, energy that, like I said, could have been from the past, or outside influences. All right, so you are creating a fresh foundation for this next step. Okay, this next step is coming, and so it's happening a lot quicker. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of just say what I have here. Okay, but tensions are high because there are people getting left behind or cut loose. So you may be seeing lots of messaging through birds, okay? Lots of messaging and synchronicities through birds, feeling speed kicking in or time getting closer. So your nervous system may be affected momentarily, but your body is constantly readjusting. Everything is being released at a rapid rate because of how quickly this is coming in, okay? So their love is a reminder for you, and this is a calming effect. They can always feel when something is wrong or if there's been a sudden change, okay? And this is like to offer you reassurance, okay? So you may feel, after you kind of, feel this, maybe, I don't know, there's like a sudden change in how you're feeling about something. Maybe you start getting nervous out of nowhere or something like that, but you can also feel this reassuring energy that is coming in, okay? And so, yes. Telepathy sounds so good. Okay, I was hearing getting left behind. Okay, so when we're talking about these people who are getting left behind, cut loose, okay, getting left behind, I was hearing drop zone. So it's like being on the drop zone with no safety belt. Okay, so this is causing severe depression, anxiety, fatigue. We talked about the crisis of psychosis, so as well as psychosis. Okay, and it's kind of like what I was getting, or how I can best explain it, is it's like going through withdrawal, which is not a pleasant experience. I mean, I have never experienced it myself, but just, from examining, it's not a very pleasant experience, okay? And I think we've all, heard about the stories of going through withdrawal. It's not pleasant, okay? So this is what someone is experiencing, okay? These were energy vampires who saw you and your love as a drug. So these are people who are highly dependent on others for life, period, okay? For life, period, the feeling of life. They don't feel happiness otherwise, so they use others to fill a void and avoid doing the inner work themselves, okay? So when we are talking about you and this person who you are connecting with, your love is the antidote for one another, releasing all the poison of the past. So this is very much like, holistic healing and medicine, which can still be painful, okay? It's still painful, like when the toxins are leaving your body, like you can feel it, okay? And so that is what we're speaking about here, okay? This is something new for you, okay? Healthy, may feel, a little new. And things that are healthy, things that are actually safe and feel safe can kind of trigger the nervous system in some ways, okay? So like I said, it's just a bunch of releasing and letting go. And so sometimes when you are used to something, you almost feel like, and when you feel that leaving, you're like, wait, like, like something's different, right? Because it's no longer your comfort zone, or, it's like maybe, like I said before, some of you guys, maybe you found comfort in, some sort of trauma, but it's like, as you let that go, it may feel like a piece of you is missing, but nothing is missing, okay? It's like, it's almost like for some of you, maybe, for some of you also, because like I said, some of you are literally, okay, mating with your own soul, okay? And so this is becoming whole within the self. So maybe it's not that you are missing something, but it's almost like you are feeling that void is no longer a void, and it is you are kind of feeling more self-fulfilled, okay? And that could be a new feeling for you, okay? It may be feeling a little different than what you are used to. So your body is just readjusting. You are just readjusting to, your new self, okay? Your new self. Yeah, that's the best way that I can put it, okay? But and the best way that I can put this, as far as, you getting used to either, your new self or this new connection or whatever, is it's like going to space for the first time. So this can be discombobulating as you reprogram the mind. Also, like I said, yes, safety can also trigger the nervous system. For some of you, I was hearing separation anxiety. Okay, that can be significant or relevant for someone here, but you keep thinking that they changed their mind, but it's someone trying to change yours. So this could just be random negative thoughts that pop in your heads, or this could also be evil eye or the projections of others, okay? A reminder for you is to not give into the negative thoughts, because you will have victory here, okay? So you are getting victory here. You will have victory here, okay? And they are constantly sending you reminders. When I say they, I mean this person that you are connecting with, okay? They are constantly sending you reminders, and your spirit team is also constantly sending you reminders, okay? So you are already theirs, but they want to make it loud and clear. Okay, so you are going to know each other so well that you won't even blink at anything or anyone that tries to disrupt what you have built and created with one another. So this would be something more like a shared joke, okay? I was seeing very stoic, okay? So no words are going to be able to penetrate, trigger, or move you. That is how assured that you will be within one another, okay? You won't flinch. You won't flinch or even question it. So I was hearing closed circle, okay? close circle. So like I said, you know, you may have, you know, people that you trust, etc. But when I hear in close circle, you are not allowing others in your relationship or to come in between the two of you. So basically, like when I say this, is that your relationship is not a topic of discussion for tabletop conversation. Okay, so this is not just, you know how people just, I don't know, it's just like people who want to be like on your business. Like that's not going to be a thing. Okay, but also the love between you two can be seen and felt without the need to talk about it or explain it, and that's what makes it so beautiful and special, because you don't have to sell it to anyone. You just know that it's real. So maybe in the past people could tell that you weren't meant to be with someone, or it just seemed unusual, off, or like you weren't truly happy. So you may have been trying to convince yourself and them, or maybe your love was always not enough for somebody, constantly asking you to prove it, but we're just kind of taking advantage of your love and willingness to make them happy, and this still wasn't enough. So you were killing yourself, bending over backwards and jumping through hoops, felt like you were being dragged all over the place and couldn't keep up. So they were expecting you to fix something that you didn't break. Okay, they were like literally kind of like making you pay for someone else's mistakes that were not yours. Okay, mistakes of the past person, and kind of like holding you accountable for what other people did to them. Like someone was taking out all of their frustrations towards the opposite sex out on one person. Okay, it's like they got a secret thrill out of watching you suffer and pander to them. So this is someone who is very manipulative, thinks that everyone owes them something, even for things that they didn't experience themselves. They just constantly need to be a victim, or kind of place themselves in the feeling of, or constantly place themselves in a position of being a victim, feeling like this is the only way that their desires can be fulfilled. So this is someone who is very unfulfilled, unsatisfied, unhappy, and empty otherwise. I was also hearing dramatization or exaggeration, so creating false experiences based on the experiences of others, adapting fiction as their reality from things they see. So this is literally like someone who is mentally ill. This could be someone who literally suffers from some sort of mental illness, or someone who is mentally ill. Okay, so forcing themselves to believe that it's real, but maybe alerting to others, and use this as a means to manipulate for supply. Okay, so this is energy harvesting. But anyways, to wrap up this message, okay, what you are feeling is them grappling with a loss of access to their energetic supply as a result of your manifestation unfolding and being made complete. So you cut them out physically, spiritually, and energetically. And what I was seeing is a bungee cord, or kind of like how I could best explain it, okay, or what I was, kind of seeing or getting from this is, it's like a bungee cord getting cut in mid-air. So excitement turned into panic and then fear. So what you were feeling was not yours, okay? You were not feeling your energy. You were feeling this energy. You were kind of feeling that cord being cut, okay? Or the effects of that cord being cut. And it's kind of like I said, they are going through withdrawal, okay? They are going they are going through withdrawal, and it's kind of like them grappling almost. Think about someone like a bungee jump. Think about someone bungee jumping, right? The cord gets cut mid-air. First, it's you're having fun, but then you're realizing, wait, hold on, like I'm not going to stop. So now you are kind of like grappling, okay? Grappling, trying to, but there's nothing that you can do. You're mid-air grappling, and there's nothing that you can do, okay? So you know your person, and you know what they feel like. So if you start to worry, then just remember to come back home, okay? Just come back home. That is all I have for you guys today, okay? I hope that this message was helpful to you. I hope that you got something from this message. If you enjoy my channel, my content, my energy, etc., I do ask that you like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to. And I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Love you all. Bye.